Welcome to the 3G Fitness Podcast,
where three generations of trainers come together to discuss all things fitness related.
Join us as we share insights, tips, and stories from our diverse experiences as we unravel the secrets of staying fit.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 3G's Fitness Podcast, three generations of fitness. I'm Coach Cisco.
Coach Michael.
And I'm Coach Kyle.
And today, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very interesting topic that was brought up by our AI specialist, Michael Juniper Felcher. We are going to be talking about personal training versus AI.
Yes.
Now, when we're talking about personal training, we're going to go a little bit more in detail. And basically, we're going to talk about online personal training versus AI and what's the future.
Well, you know, I didn't come up with AI. I didn't come up with online.
Yeah, we know that. You're still using dial-up.
So I didn't need, I thought, you know, online wasn't a good training program, you know, because I wasn't familiar with it. And then now that I'm in this era now, you know, I sit back and I look and AI has come in, and I actually do use it not just for fitness, but for other things. Mm-hmm. And so I started digging into fitness with AI and trying to see how they explain things, you know, to a person that is not with a personal trainer or with, you know, a personal trainer. And it was interesting, you know, because you go and ask, you know, and they give you your answer, and they even do an image and a diagram of it, so you can see what works. So see, now I see AI moving into the area of PT,
the business of
and online. So how effective is it going to be? Is my question.
Well, I would probably take it over to the young buck over here
Do that.
Well, not just that, because I know Kyle is trying to scale and go into online training. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you are looking for an online coach, his information, we always share it. Kyle is getting ready to kind of launch his own online training program. But what do you think about what Michael is kind of saying over here, man, when he's talking?
I'm trying to figure out. So, are you trying to see if it's going to be hurtful or helpful to the industry?
Well, will it affect the industry? Is what I'm.
But in a negative way or in a positive way?
Or in any way,
taking away some of the things that online does and PT does.
You mean like to eliminate the person?
Yeah, like, you know, cut down on clients for PT because they feel, oh, I can go on AI from what I've learned from my personal trainer. I can go on AI and I can see how it's done, and is he right?
That is a route, but I think you're going to be very limited, you know, because AI can only give you information, right? But it can't give you motivation.
It can't give you motivation. Okay, we know that, you know, but some people are self-motivated too. That's true. Train
100%,
and they
very
feel
true.
You know, it's like a person going into the gym for the first time, and learning the gym. To me, that AI gives that person an extra step. Now you can learn from AI and go in the gym and do what AI tells you what to do and how to do it.
Yeah. I think that's a smaller market, though, smaller niche. So compared to like
we're moving into that era with AI. Everybody's using AI. Everybody, not just for fitness, but for anything.
But if you think about it, though,
they have less knowledge in.
If you think about it, though, AI is really just Google, but on crack.
It's Google to a limitation.
It's a stronger version of Google. I would say that's how I compare it to. And people have used Google all the time. Yeah. Mostly everyone knows what they have to do, but it's actually doing it is what they have issues with, right? Everybody knows they have to work out, they have to eat healthy, but do they actually do it?
Yes. No, they don't.
It's the actual execution. Exactly. And that's where the trainers come in, because that's where a
personal trainer will come in PT will never go away. We know that.
That's what I think. For sure. Personal training.
Never go away.
I don't think it's going to be replaced by AI.
Right. It will never go away.
Yeah.
But I do think it almost, to me, looking at it, almost takes the place of online. In a sense, it doesn't have that personal interaction, but at the same time,
you say no.
Yeah, I'm going to say no because
at the same time, on online, you can't go to that person and help them. You can motivate them with your voice by telling them, no, you got to do this, you got to do this, but you can't actually physically go there and say
you don't. But there's different ways. You can message them. You can do FaceTime. You've done online training before, yeah?
Yeah.
And I'm also doing. I have a few clients online
AI
training.
could do that. They actually can. They can actually say, do you want me to motivate you in certain ways and stuff? And you say yes, they'll put it down.
Yeah, but if you do that, it sounds very superficial, like it's not getting deep with the client and having that real genuine connection. And I think that's what will set us apart from actual AI versus, what we do in the training industry.
Well, I think in personal training, there is that little personal connection.
For sure.
And online, I think it's not as personal as personal training. Sure, you sit there and you message them and say, okay, you got to work harder, you got to do this. Or if this is not working, why isn't this working? You have to come up with why this is not working. And
yeah.
But AI can come up with the same thing.
It's funny. The software that I use for my online training business, Trainerize, it actually has AI integrated with it already, but not completely. So what it is just it'll send automatic messages to my clients throughout the week, just to add like accountability, But I'll check in with them like, hey, like how's your workout this week, or did you do your whatever, or like how was your sleep? But then it won't go further than that. It won't kind of elaborate.
So it's
after
a little bit
that.
more superficial.
Yeah, 100%. It's just very like on the surface type stuff. And I think for us as the trainer, that's where we come in and just dive deeper into like,
well, as a personal trainer for yourself, you gave an example of it, is that you'll say how to do certain things, and you'll say, well, this and that and this and that. Your client will go out and go on AI and ask AI, and they will tell them. And if it's not the same as what you're saying, they'll come back and question you. Is that right?
That's fine.
So now that puts it puts pressure on a personal trainer that he has to be absolutely sure in what he's doing and what he's showing that person, because now AI, like you said, is integrated into it.
But in reverse to that, the same thing. What if that client looks up something and that same thing that they said, just validates what Kyle said. Kyle said,
yeah, exactly.
And then they go and check up AI, and then like, oh, that's what my trainer said.
Yeah.
To me,
but what if it doesn't validate what he said?
Then that's a great topic to bring in and talk with each other.
Sure.
I have strong confidence in both, like myself, you, and Kyle, where we know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So I have not had a client personally come up to me and say, hey, this is not what agreeing with you, but it might sound different, and be like, oh, you know what? It's because it's saying this, and then we can connect the bridges. Or
it's definitely more so of like hammering on what we've been saying already.
Yeah. And I think it could be a benefit to that too. Now, to kind of validate a little bit of your point, because like I said, I dabbled into online training. I did not, for my skill set is in person. I already know that for sure. And it wasn't meant for me to be on an online trainer. So it's like, I enjoyed it. It was easy, but it wasn't I didn't even push it after a while, because I was like, all right, you know what? I know where my skill set is at. My skill set is in person. So I had a strong feeling, just like you, that AI was going to come in and replace, because I noticed the clients that I did get success with in online training were very self-motivated.
Yeah, exactly.
So sure. it is something where I can kind of see what Michael Juniper is talking about over here, where it's like, it could replace, but you did say something, a different market. It's a different market.
Yeah, it is a different market.
Yeah, because we deal with the general population who doesn't really have motivation like that.
I think PT online, they do integrate with AI, because they do, obviously, if there's something you're not sure of, you're going to go to more than likely, as you would do with Google, you would go to AI and try to find out, can this be done this way or that way? My thing is that AI is starting to move in, not necessarily take over, but to kind of coordinate with online and with personal.
I think it will be helpful more than it will be hurtful, for sure. Like it will be like we were talking before we started, is that it will just be a tool that trainers can use to excel in their business.
Oh, definitely. It's gonna help you excel into your business. But my whole question to this whole subject is that there are going to be people that are going to feel, let me just try AI out and see where it takes me. You know,
and that might be a new generation.
And
like
that-
maybe the
I think it's a newer generation coming up.
Like
because-
not even your the generation behind you might
Right.
be doing that.
Yeah.
So, but I think that's probably not going to be another maybe 15 years where maybe. But I think like right now the main individuals that will probably be using AI will probably be your gym rats that are already going to the gym, 4 to 6 times a week on their own without motivation, and trainers. I think those are the two like top candidates that are using AI for fitness right now in 2025. Right? You might be using it for other thing. I might use it, but I don't think like, I don't, your client that you train, 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. I don't think he's going to be using AI to get his workout, and he's still coming to you.
No, he's
right.
He's the old school.
I don't think it's going to replace.
And I don't think he's going to replace. And then you say he's old school. Then going back to Kyle. Kyle's got a lot of younger clients too that he sees multiple times a week. I don't think they're going to go to AI and start, and these are already people that are coming in consistently to a gym working with a trainer.
Yeah.
It's just you guys already build that rapport and that trust with people. And that's the one thing too that I think AI cannot get is like emotional connection.
No,
so
it can't.
With that comes trust and rapport.
100%.
So that's why it's I can see both sides of it. I could see it being a tool, and I could also see it being like not. But like I said, I like how yours you're using it as a tool to keep your clients on tab. Like he has so AI is actually helping him out. It's almost like your little assistant manager.
Pretty much, exactly. Yeah, I call him Jarvis.
Jarvis?
Yeah, from Iron Man. Little assistant.
Damn, that's another J name.
Michael Jarvis.
Michael Jarvis. No, but like I said, but you grew up like even online training is something that you never did growing up as well too, right? So I feel like you always grew up old school, show up to the gym, hit the weights. And that's like I said, when you were doing that in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, that was your form.
That was it. So now that I'm into this new era, I look at it. I look at it and I say, wow, fitness is changing. And it's something that I don't think will be in my part of fitness. I just don't think it will be, because, at my age, I'm used to the PT way of training.
Yeah.
I look at this new way going on, and I'm like, wow, I wonder how this is going to end up.
Yeah, but plus you're kind of on the latter stages of your personal training career already, right? If this came out, maybe.
Latter. Dude, I'm at the end.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, yeah, you're right. You're trying to retire.
That is the
ladder, right?
That's the ladder. But
I hope you're thinking I'm being nice.
Okay, but anyway, so let's let me give you a scenario though. So if this came out like right in your prime when you were a trainer, right? I don't know, like when were you really like in 20s? When you were 20 or 30?
When I was into the training.
Yeah, like when you were.
I was into my. Actually, I started personal training when I was 18.
He started when he was 18. I remember.
Okay.
I started my first.
So let's just say 20s. Let's say like AI came out.
20s is probably when you started priming it up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, so if AI came out when you're 20s,
I'd be scared.
You'd be scared. That's what I was gonna ask. Like, would you have been scared? Like, would you be like, dang, like, is it gonna take my job away? All that stuff. Yeah.
And I do look at you guys now, and I know in your head, you wonder. Wow, I wonder how depth this is going to be with AI. Are they going to try to monopolize the whole fitness thing, with it by robotics and by computerization? I would be thinking that. Yeah. I would be thinking if I was in my 30s or late 20s right now, I would be thinking, wow, what is AI gonna end up doing to fitness?
Right.
Okay.
In the technology, that's what I look. Now I look at it like I really don't care.
Yeah.
Because if
you're at the end.
You're at the end. But for someone who's like, we're still kind of in the thick of it.
I'm at the end of fitness, and I look at it, but I do have that curiosity on.
I'm sure a lot of other people also think that way.
I don't know, man.
Other trainers.
Like I said, I'm pretty sure. I think if I was a younger trainer, I think it would cross my mind more. Because I do believe that we still are emotional creatures, but I do believe as the generations get younger, we are becoming more emotionless. I don't know if that makes any sense. Like, now kids are learning how to use tablets at the age of 2 to 3. When I never even touched a tablet. Yeah, I never even knew when I touched a tablet until I was like 20, right? And so I think the newer generations that are being born are,
that's a good point.
Yeah, are not really getting much human interaction. So I got a daughter on the way, and the one thing that we talk about is like no tablets, no phone. Let's keep that human interaction going, because the newer generations is keeping kids on tablets, on phones at a young age. So now when you're doing that, you're taking away human interaction at a young age. So now the newer generation might not need so much of that emotional support that a person brings in personal training. So that's the only thing where
the social aspect of it.
The social
that's why they grew up socially awkward.
No, it's true, right? You go to nowadays you go to a restaurant, even you order by a kiosk, and you rarely order through person. So that's where I would think like the kids that are being born today, in 25 years, where is AI going to be? And then I look at where I'm going to be in 25 years. Hopefully I'm in the latter part of my career and it won't be affecting me so much. But in 25 years, where are you going to be, Kyle? Like you might still be kicking and going on this, because you're only like 27, 28? So
28.
You'll be in his
28.
You'll be in your 50s, and you maybe, same thing. You'll probably be going towards the latter part of your career, but
you'll be at the end of the career.
So
I don't care if you want to call it ladder, all right? You can be at the end of your career.
So
ladder means end.
Ladder
just
means
so you know.
Ladder means getting close to the end.
Getting close to the end.
Yeah.
I'm at
tomato.
I'm at the end.
Yeah.
So I get what you're trying to say. So in 25 years, could AI replace personal training?
That's how I'm looking at it.
Years.
That's how I'm looking at it in the future.
I still don't think so.
You don't think so?
Because like you said, it's the human connection that like really builds that bond with the client, And if it's like very surface level, which again the AI can throw you some prompts and kind of give you some motivational words here and there, but it's never like a really deep connection as if a human would do it.
Well, they wouldn't be able to get personal.
Well, it's like he said. It's I see what you did there. I see what you did there. Wow. Michael Juniper Felcher with the connection. Bringing it back
exactly.
in circles.
Personal.
But it's true.
We bring the personal in personal training.
Yeah. We wouldn't be able to get there. Go there with
exactly.
that. See, so it would be strictly training and
conversational.
Artificial
training.
But not deep personal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, there's a lot more to it, right? We've already had debates on what is getting deep and personal with our clients, how it works for us, how some don't agree with it.
Which was me.
So
don't say some.
Okay. All right, it was you.
It was me that didn't agree with it.
But you've seen, you've also can see how it's benefited those that it does work for, and it does benefit for, long term and keeping clients motivated. And so it's a both, it could be both good and bad. I think in today's day, how AI should be used is like how Kyle's been saying, as a tool, and I think it should challenge us as personal trainers today to be more on top of our stuff, to be more refreshed on our stuff, to like study new studies, because there's always
up to date
new
with
study.
information.
Yeah, there's always new information, because the last thing you want is for what you mentioned earlier, a client to look up something on AI and be like, hey, coach, this is telling me something completely different from what you told me. But I haven't had that yet, and I know you haven't had that yet, but it's more validating when they come in like, hey, coach, I looked up AI. They saying the exact same thing you're saying. That's where I think we can use AI today to benefit us, to just help us stay on our toes a little bit better too. So, and like I said, you're at the end of your career.
I don't have any qualms about that, because if to me, to do fitness for as long as I've done it, it's an achievement to me, because it's a tough business, and it's a tough thing to keep going, and consistency plays such a big role in it.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this:
he's in the end of the road.
Yeah.
Boys to men.
The road, but you're talking about AI. How about when online training first came out? What was going through your head? Because I'm pretty sure that was.
You want to know what was going when online training came out? Because
you've been doing training all in person.
And this, don't take this personal, okay? Please don't. All right.
Okay.
I don't want you to take this personal what I thought.
Okay.
All right. Don't get offended. Yeah.
I told myself, oh, lazy trainers trying to make more money.
Lazy trainers trying to get more money. What do you mean? Elaborate on that.
In other words, they didn't want to go in there and be a PT in the gym. They just want to sit there and talk on the phone and make money. That's how I looked at it
When it first came out.
But then as it started to grow and started getting more popular, I used to hear different versions from different people. And I actually knew an online trainer that explained why he wanted to be why he's doing online training. So I kind of got to understanding it more, and now I look at it as part of the fitness business. Mm-hmm. But what I thought when it first came out was that.
Okay, well,
I can see that. Yeah,
I'm
not mad. Don't look at me. I don't care.
But no, that's because I'm an old school trainer.
That's valid.
So when new things come out, obviously the first thing I do is I look at it and
you judge them.
Is this gonna work?
Like the judgy person you are.
Or is this being trainers being lazy and they don't want to get out and they don't want to go in the gym and actually train a person in person?
Yeah.
They want to just get on, the phone and blah 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 blah.
So you're just a natural born hater when something new is thrown at you, huh? It's all like when something new is thrown at you, you're just a natural born hater, huh? It's like, damn.
I'm not a hater. I'm a person that's hard to go with change. Because when you've done something for 30 or 40 years, it's hard to change.
Ooh.
But it's true though. It's not bad, but no, I agree with him though. It's hard to change.
It's hard to change.
You've been doing this for 40 years. When online training probably blew up, maybe you're already 25 years in your career. So
yeah.
I don't expect you to change after you've been doing something for 25 years.
Nah,
Also, you won't have much buying if you don't really know much about it in the first place.
Yeah.
So
I give props out to PTs now that go with the change, because that's what's happening now. You have to go with the change that happens, because change is going to happen every 5, every 10, every 15, every 20 years.
True.
And the way technology is going with Instagram, with texting and all this other stuff, it makes things faster to get to, to where when we were there, we had to wait for the TV, the news to come on to find out.
Yeah. But also just as a business alone, obviously, like training is hard. There's a high turnover rate for personal trainers.
Hard.
Not a lot of people make a lot of money from training. It's just another avenue to make money, honestly, by hitting a different audience, a different market online.
And that's what you're trying to do right now with your online training. I mean,
I look at K as the modern PT.
Just another way to make income, but also help more people that we can't reach.
He's the modernization of personal trainers. That's how I look at it, because I go back so far and I look at him. I say, oh, this is the new version of personal training here. That's how I see him. And it's not hating on anybody. It's just how the world is evolving now.
It's just how I use my resources now.
What's that?
It's just how I use my resources now.
That's it. That's all it is. Technology and stuff, computers and all this. That's all it is. It's just the new way of personal training.
It's a new way, but like I said, I think it's just the tool set. It's a good tool. I think he uses it properly. He uses it well. Remember when we talked about foam rollers? We made it a specific. It was like old, middle, young, and foam rollers maybe popularized in the late 90s.
I'm using it on my back.
But who was the one that was like really knowledgeable with the foam rollers?
I had a vibrating one.
I know.
There it is.
And I was up for using it on my back, and everybody told me, hey man, you can't be using that on your back. You got to use this little one.
Exactly.
I said, all these years I've been using it on my back,
So I think, like I said, going back to it, will AI ever replace online training? I don't think anytime soon. No, I don't think so. What about you, man?
I don't think so either.
You're using it for your benefit.
I am. Yeah, exactly. It's just
I don't know what the next stage of AI is.
We don't know. Yeah, that's a
we
question.
I don't know.
Maybe they'll come out with like more in-depth
that's
AIs.
what I'm saying.
Who knows?
It might come out with a robot that physically looks like a trainer, and does that job.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where
Actually,
that's the way the future's going.
That's a good point, because I remember when I first started using AI, you'd ask a question and it'll just give you the answer. Now you ask a question,
it asks you.
It'll give you the answer, and then it'll ask you another question to kind of
know more.
Yeah, exactly. So
know more?
maybe who knows? 10 years from now, it could be different for sure.
And I wanted to see how far AI would go.
It'll actually almost it will continue and carry the conversation.
And I said yes, so it explained and then asked, "Do you want to know more?" I go, "Yes." It kept going.
It'll just keep going. So that's the scary part.
No, I'm good.
So, yeah,
he's getting too in depth and personal. I don't let people inside my boundaries of walls and
who knows?
emotions. Well, not bad.
But like you said, AI is going more and more and more.
It's starting to.
How far will it go?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But
we can ask our viewers that, leave a like, comment, subscribe, leave a comment to see, where you think that will take the industry. Will it replace us? Will it, hurt us, help us?
And let us know how you guys are using it, so that way we can kind of get a better understanding. So, like I said, it was a fun little topic right here.
Yeah.
Chit chat. You got a little bit of an old school mind, kind of going with the new school. I enjoyed kicking back and hearing you guys. So that was awesome. So, anyways,
yes, sir.
You guys like, comment, subscribe. We just hit 100 subscribers. I was like, hey, we gotta celebrate 100 somehow, some way.
Shots.
Pop bottles. But anyways,
tequila.
I'm Coach Cisco.
Coach Michael.
And I'm Coach Kyle.
We'll catch you on the next episode.